What's going on, guys? So, I wanted to make a very quick video talking about why, if your girl wants to leave you, you should let her leave. If she ever has to make a choice between you and another guy, just let her go. You've already lost. So, there is this one guy I knew. He was a bodybuilder, and he he kind of dabbled in steroids and stuff. He ended up getting he actually ended up getting HIV and he ended up dying. That's another story. This particular story, however, he was still obviously alive, and he ended up was he was with this girl, and this girl was not a bodybuilder. She wasn't into fitness, but she was really pretty. She was very pretty. She was very attractive, and she knew she was attractive, and that's a problem. And in hindsight, it was a problem, and he always was fearful of losing her, and he did extravagant things to keep her. And me on the sideline, me being a virgin and stuff, I was kind of like sitting there thinking, if you have to worry, if you're going to sleep at night worrying and having nightmares about losing your girl, you already lost. And I kind of pulled him aside and said, look, he's probably already seen someone. He said, No, she's not." And I said, "Yeah, but where is she emotionally? Where is she mentally? Where is she thinking? Her mentality is as important as her physicality." I like that. So I explained it to him, and I simply said, "When your girl is thinking about someone else, she's already cheated. In her mind, she's with the other person. She is preparing the monkey branch. She's preparing to leave you. And if it's getting to that point, let her go because she's already made that choice." And I had to explain to him, like, look, like, what are you doing trying to keep her? I mean, she's attractive, yes. So you want to know what that means? That means she's getting hit on all the time. She's getting all this male attention and validation on social media. Um, she would not let him see her social media or her DMs, and he was kind of clueless about it. So I explained to him, you know, this is he's already gone. He's basically with you for convenience. And, he kind of confronted her about it. He confronted her about it. And she was in denial. She did all the girl stuff. She blamed him. She blamed his work ethic. She blamed him being at the gym too much. She blamed him being a bodybuilder. She cried. She did all this stuff. But when it came down to it, she would not let him see the DMs. She would not let him see the social media accounts. It was They were together and their social media accounts were separate. Furthermore, she wanted to see his DMs, wanted to see, his bank accounts. But when it came to hers, she wanted to be quiet and she wanted him to let things go. And it got to a point where I was getting kind of mad. I was getting kind of mad for my friend because it was abusive. It was just abusive. And one time we were all hanging out. We were all eating, you know, and we were all eating and stuff, and she was just on her phone. She was on her phone constantly, and I really didn't like that. I didn't appreciate how warped she was in her own world while being in outside in the world. How can you be in your own world while being in the world? That makes no sense. She wasn't there, and he noticed all the things that I said. He noticed all the things that I mentioned, pulled him aside and talked to him about. And he finally sat there and said, "Will you get off your phone? Such and such is here. This person's here. I'm here, but you're not here. You're not here at all." And she said no. And then she said, "Are you talking to someone?" Like in front of everyone. This is a public place. And she said, like, "Why would you assume that?" And she said, and yeah, she was like, "Why would you assume that?" She got defensive. And he said, "You're on your phone. You've been on your phone for 2 hours. You have not raised your head. You haven't even eaten your food. You haven't eaten your food, and you're just on Instagram. You're on Facebook or wherever, wherever she was on. She was on it for 2 hours, and everyone noticed. And everyone was a little bit, jarred, concerned, a little bit offended. And she sat there and said, "Oh, I'm talking to a friend. That's it, just a female friend." And he said, "Look, let me see your phone." She said, "No." And he basically said, "Okay." So we got up and walked out. He did not return to the dinner table. And basically, uh, 2 more hours had passed and he still hadn't returned. So we thought something had happened. We thought he went to the bar. I called him and said, "Hey, like, you okay? Like, this isn't very good, and you kind of like didn't pay your part of the bill." He said, "I'll cash up you my portion of the bill." Okay, he did that. Then after that, um, we went back to his place, and what happened next was classic. Um, she tried to open the door in front of everyone to, just go in, and it was locked. He actually got the locks changed really fast, and he knew some people that did locks, and he paid them $100 a piece to just switch his locks out, and none of us could actually get in. We were all welcome besides the girl. So the girl was trying to get in. She wasn't able to get in, and she was furious. She was like, "Where's all my stuff? And what are you doing and stuff like that? And I swear I'm not talking to anyone." Da 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 da. um, he had access to her laptop. She forgot to log off her laptop. She left it on, completely on. So while she was yelling outside the house, he, in front of everyone, through the window, while the window was closed, went through her DMs and went through her messages and her friends list. She had like 20,000 followers. She had a lot of followers, and her DMs was like, "I'll fly you out to Dubai. You're so beautiful. Hey, good thing you did last night." You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be more kid friendly. And everyone was like mortified. So we all turned on her, and she didn't cry. She just said, "You're not my first choice." And it was one of those things that I never really forgot. Um, when he heard that, he broke the laptop, and that was her world because all she had left was her phone. And he basically set all of her stuff on fire. He basically went out in the back, and he was a locked, gated area, and he set all of her clothes on, and kind of like a barbecue, and he just set all of it on fire. Thousands and thousands of dollars that he spent to get rid of her stuff, and she only had the clothes on her back. No sneakers, just no shoes, nothing. It was bad. Um, she left that night very quickly. I think a day later she was seen with someone. A day later, man, like 12 hours even. Probably that night. And it was bad. It was really bad. And she sent him a message, or it was more of a video clip of her kissing some other guy, and he was a bodybuilder and stuff, and it just kind of broke him. And he kind of slept around, and then he caught HIV, and then he died. It was a sad story. It's just there's no happy endings in this video. And after that, we all kind of disbanded. I was a virgin, and I just kind of went in my virgin ways. Everyone else kind of went and did their own thing after he died. But just to show you, how some, not all, but some women can be. Not all, but some. Some of them are diabolical, man. Some of them are, but some of them aren't. I want to say most of them aren't, but I can't tell the difference anymore, and it's really scary. It's really scary out here. Everyone's almost the same, and be careful out there. Be careful out there. Protect yourself. If you ever want to sleep around, get tested before. It'll save you a lot of heartache. I think STD checks are free at the clinic, and yeah, yeah. RIP to my friend. Okay, bye guys.